You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Days of Our Lives fans, it's your girl, Belinda from Soap Dirt, with something for you to consider. EJ DiMera is hiding this big old baby secret, and it seems it is set to blow up in his face. But more than that, we know Ari Zucker has about a month left in the role of Nicole Walker, and then she exits. So what happens to EJ after that? Who will he love, or at least who's going to be warming his sheets for a rebound romance? We'll dive into that. But if you haven't, please hit subscribe, click that button and follow us. We really appreciate your support. So you know that since they recast EJ DiMera with Dan Feuerriegel, he's had few romances, not a lot. I mean, most notably with his ex-wife, Sami Brady, but things fell apart when Lucas Harton kidnapped Sami and he framed EJ for it. Remember, it all came out at the Lucas-Sami wedding, but that didn't result in EJ and Sami getting a happily ever after, and she left town again. And of course, that was all complicated by EJ's other little fling at the time with Sami's sister, his lawyer, Belle Black. I really enjoyed Belle with EJ, but then the NBC soap sidelined Martha Madison as part of that mass firing of Day's actresses. So she's not around to be EJ's rebound or catch his attention again. And Sami is certainly not around. And as for Nicole, it seems she leaves town alone, possibly with baby Jude, but not with any of the men in her life. Ari Zucker was on a podcast recently and was asked about her exit. I did a standalone video on it, and I'll put a link to it at the end of this on the recommended video section. So she said that there is no death scene. She did not film one. So Nicole exits alive. If Days of Our Lives decides to kill off Nicole, it will be after the fact, an off-screen death that they mention later. But that might not even happen. The bottom line is she leaves town alive, and so we're sticking with the assumption that the character stays alive. Ari said her last air date, late July, supposedly Monday, July 29th, 2024. So in the chat on the podcast I listened to, she said that she felt her exit storyline did a disservice to the two characters people wanted together for a really long time. That's clearly Nicole and Eric Brady. So that means they're not reuniting, which makes sense because we know Greg Vaughn was still filming through at least April of 2024. So he'll be on screen for several months after her exit through like December 2024 at least. And Ari Zucker also said her exit plot did a disservice to the one Nicole is with at the time of her exit. And that is obviously EJ. And, a disservice to them, I'm not quite sure what that means, only that clearly EJ isn't leaving with her either. And so I think we might get a frustrating split. I don't know. So no matter how they explain Nicole's exit, EJ is about to be all alone and probably having to get a divorce just like Eric's doing now with EJ's help. So once Nicole leaves and EJ is all by himself and all pitiful, presumably without the baby he stole to comfort him, right now, until I hear different, I assume Nicole takes Jude out of town with her. Naturally, EJ's got to mourn his split with her and deal with recriminations, assuming the truth comes out that EJ stole Eric's baby, like Sloan stole Nicole's. Only EJ may try and play dumb and pretend he doesn't know, but I feel like he might be outed for lying. We'll see. After all of that dies down, though, who do we expect to see EJ with? I mean, they're not going to waste a hunk like that and not give him a bed buddy, right? So who's going to be his next big love or the next one to warm his sheets? Next romance, next rebound. So I have a few ideas. The first one I want to talk about is a woman that EJ DiMera despises, a woman who hates him as much as he hates her. And if you listen here regularly, you'll know that one of my favorite tropes on soaps and in romance novels is enemies to lovers, where people despise each other, but the chemistry is too great to overcome and they succumb to passion, and then feelings grow from there. So the woman I'm talking about in this case, an enemy of EJ's, is Ava Vitali. Harris Michaels is leaving soon, in the next few weeks, in fact, kind of close to around the time that Ari Zucker leaves. Steve Burton wrapped filming in December, also very close to the same time that Ari Zucker wrapped. So his exit should also come by late July, if not sooner. That means Ava's going to have no hot man warming her sheets, and EJ's nothing if not hot. He can be stupid, he can be frustrating, egotistical, but he's hot. And I don't think that Ava and EJ would naturally be inclined to hop in the sack together, but I could see those two sitting at small bar, drowning their sorrows in tequila, him upset about Nicole leaving, her upset about Harris leaving, and then they wake up in bed together wondering, how did that happen? And then it keeps happening. I think EJ and Ava would make a really, really fun couple. And there's also Emily O'Brien's characters to consider. Theresa Donovan is exposed as a big old fat liar this summer. I've heard it comes out at her wedding to Alex Kidiakis, which should be late July, early August, not long after Nicole leaves. If Theresa stays in Salem, I'm assuming Brady would not make the same mistake and get back with her after that. So there's no word if Theresa leaves town, but if she stays, she needs love. And if Theresa leaves, does that mean Emily O'Brien will swap back to playing Gwen Rizczech? You know, Leo Stark just name dropped her the other day. So no matter who she's playing, Theresa or Gwen, either one could be interesting to pair with EJ DiMera. They're all schemers. EJ and both the characters she plays, they're both attractive. So I could see a spark there, you know. I'm not sure though if Emily O'Brien is sticking around. She was not in the 15,000th episode that they filmed back in like April. That cast photo for the episode airing December 4th. So she may be gone entirely. So there's one last person to consider that I want to talk about, and that's Abigail Deveraux. We're working on the assumption still that Anna Lynn McCord is playing recast Abby. That was her in the video on the flash drive that Chad and Julie found in Dirty Officer Goldman's safety deposit box that Clyde told them about. If it's not Abby, it's someone they kidnapped and locked up to pretend to be Abby, but otherwise, that's Anna Lynn McCord that was on that flash drive. Either way, you know, EJ and Abigail have a past, and the spoilers about this new character are that many men want her, but her heart belongs to one that doesn't want to be with her, and basically to protect her. Remember how Chad was talking to Johnny about how he shouldn't marry Chanel because the DiMera men are cursed? You know, maybe Chad refuses to be with Abby when she's back because he doesn't want her to lose her life again. She nearly died once. They thought she died, and he may think that not getting back with her would protect her somehow. But that sort of sentiment would not stop EJ DiMera. So, you know, might be some kind of weird thing where EJ tangles with Abby again, even in some sort of twisted brotherly love triangle with her. Of all of these options, though, my favorite is Ava Vitali. But let me know in the comments, who do you want to see EJ with after Nicole walks out of Salem alone next month? Let me know in the comments and come back soon. Please subscribe to follow us if you're not already. And remember, we're here talking days, 7 days a week with me, your host, Belinda from Soap Dirt.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.